I have a dual role here at the Health Center. I am the Chief Health Equity Officer, but we also started a nonprofit during the pandemic in response to the high needs for food. It got really rough out here really fast. You're using what little you have and really trying to stretch it out to feed thousands of people. We have an amazing team, and I mentioned that we are a very small team, but we're a very passionate team. Most of us are rooted and from this community, and again, the work is very personal. And as hard as the work was, the fact that everyone showed up meant everything.
When the pandemic happened, your role kind of went out the door, your title kind of went out the door, and you became just whatever chameleon you had to be for the day, for the week.
I would say one of the biggest systemic challenges was the underestimation of the number of people who are actually food insecure in our community and we're doing without. The beauty of the pandemic is it helped to shed light on the issue out here. It shed light not just on the issue of food insecurity in our community, but for our state as a whole and how fragile our food system is. The fact that we were so dependent on outside food coming in is very scary, because if certain relationships were not in place for the people who were bringing in food, we would be at the mercy of what we could get around us. And as a result of that issue, we have started doing more work around food sovereignty and making sure that more food is being grown in our community. And so when we're doing food purchasing, we're purchasing from farmers right within our community so we can increase their productivity.
We can't take a step forward if we don't have partners and collaborators in order for us to do what we need to do.
It wasn't just Elepaio, and it wasn't just Waianae Coast Comprehensive Health Center. It was truly a community effort. One of the most successful collaborations that we've had is our really strong work with the Hawaiʻi Foodbank. Our partnership started prior to the pandemic in the start of the state's first keiki pantry at a school, and has just exponentially increased since then. And so altogether, we're providing food to over 7,000 people a week. But now, the work is even harder because there's all kinds of other factors that have now been added, which has increased the number of food insecure community members we have. So what we thought was going to be short-term, running a sprint, has now become this long-term marathon of feeding way more people than we did even during the pandemic.
It's a lot of hard work, but we somehow made it. We're surviving. We're surviving. When people ask how we're doing, I just say we're surviving. We're surviving.
I would say that the pandemic taught us to be ready and prepared. And so we as a community have been doing a lot of work around preparing for wildfires, preparing for hurricanes. One of our biggest projects that I had been working on prior to the pandemic, but is really getting pushed forward as a result, is a food campus, bringing a food bank warehouse out here that would be able to store the amount of food that would be needed to care for our community. So many opportunities have come out of this. And I am really excited for what the future holds for us and our programs, because I think they'll really make a huge difference in the next disaster.